We're back with another episode of Our Humble Podcast. It's your host, GT. I have with me my most amazing co-host, Christina. How you doing today?
I mean, I got a headache, but I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm alive.
You are alive. A little tanner than the last time.
Yeah, I've been sitting out on the porch.
Tanner on the porch.
Something in my water.
In the cold weather. You said there's something in your
It
water?
was like a hair. It's fine. I want
Oh, it's a little fiber.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah, so we're back from our trip from Florida, and yeah, we had a good time. Jessica was just asking us about it. Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. A lot of sun. Got to drive a Tesla. You not a fan?
I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
Darn it.
Just not a fan.
What's the problem with Tesla?
It's Tesla, that's why. Who wants to plug their car in every day? I just don't get it. Maybe it's just me.
I get it.
I'm already forgetful as it is, so to plug in a Tesla every day, I would walk out and there'd be my car dead, and now I can't go to work.
Well, we found out that it tells you before it dies.
Yeah, I
and it
don't pay
actually
much
has
attention to my
some-
own dashboard.
Know that. It has some reserves too, so if it does go all the way to zero, like it'll just kind of creep, but you can still get to where you need to go.
Yeah, but
Still
see, then I
not.
hear creep, and then all I think about is TLC. I'm sorry.
Nice. Well, we have with us our guest, Jessica. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Glad you're not driving a Tesla.
Yeah, I'm very glad I'm not driving. I'll stick with my truck.
Nice. Oh, you know what? Supposed to have an icebreaker. Don't have one today. You have one up your sleeve?
Where is your favorite vacation place?
That I've been to already?
How about two that you've been to and one that you want to go to?
I really want to go to Bali, just because it looks so gorgeous. But I'm kind of up there with going to Jamaica too, just because you're surrounded by water, and I love water. But where I've been to recently, I would have to say probably North Carolina. It was so pretty, the mountains and everything. I was not a fan of driving the turnpike.
Listen, okay, so that's what I was about to say, because before we
turnpike, no,
started this, you said that you don't fly.
I don't fly, so we drove 20 hours.
Absolutely not.
I did a majority of the driving all the way there. Roger drove for about an hour and a half.
Of 20
And then
hours,
of
bless
20.
his heart.
And then I drove the rest. And then on the way back, he drove a little bit more, of course, but
Did he sleep?
he did, but I didn't.
Figured that.
I tried to sleep in and out.
Those are like the worst road trip partners ever.
Yeah, he slept. We went with his mom, so there was two other drivers. She did not care for the car we were riding in, though, because it showed the speedometer up on the windshield, which I fell in love with. It showed everything in your windshield on a, I guess, like a mirror kind of thing. So,
What kind of car is that?
oh my gosh, I cannot remember the name of it.
Is it a rental?
It was a rental, though.
Okay.
We got it from Avis.
I feel like
It was like a 2023.
Okay.
So it was really nice, like CRX or something, SUV. Super nice.
I've seen cars like that that have the
Yep, the
display on
projector.
the dash. Yeah. The Tesla has like a whole screen on the side.
Yeah,
like-
so yeah.
But you have to like turn to look at it.
And see, that would drive me crazy because, I mean, they want you to keep your eyes on the road.
That's true.
And you're So that's why I think I liked it, because I didn't have to mess with nothing else. And it was great on miles. I mean, we left late at night and we got there the next evening. We stopped, of course, every 3 hours, stretch legs, get gas.
Sorry.
Wait, when did you sleep?
I slept for about an hour
No.
that morning.
No.
After that's Roger's little driving, because I was starting to fall asleep driving. So I pulled over. I said, "You got to drive now." And so then we
Absolutely.
I slept for a little bit,
That does
and
not
then
sound like a vacation. Oh
then
my
we stopped
gosh.
at a Cracker Barrel and had Cracker Barrel. I love Cracker Barrel. Sorry. Now my new favorite thing is Waffle House.
Oh, I love Waffle House.
I'm like, Nebraska needs a Waffle House.
I don't understand.
And like, we need it now.
We're always so late to everything. Like, there's always so many great like chain restaurants everywhere else.
Yep.
And we're like always, I thought that since Dunkin' Donuts.
Yep.
When I had Dunkin' Donuts on the East Coast and then realized, oh, we don't have it here. I was so sad. Then we finally got it. I'm just like, why don't we have a Waffle
The only
House?
thing I missed up there was having a Scooters, of course, but I love Scooters.
Dunkin'.
Yeah, I don't mind Dunkin' to their coffee. I don't like their donuts though. To me, I feel like they're more dry. But if I had to go donut wise, Krispy Kreme.
I just took my kids there this morning.
There's no donuts.
They came out with their fall line, so
Yes.
yeah.
I was kind of mad I missed their Halloween though.
They had like a Scooby-Doo line going for a while. Was that it? Oh, okay. I wonder why
They had a Scooby-Doo one, then they kind of had like a slash Halloween-y kind of thing going, and now it's their fall line. Normally, Roger and I always stop at Krispy Kreme and Scooters before we hit church.
Nice.
That's kind of our
Nice.
morning ritual. I
Some
get my
sugar and some
coffee when I
caffeine.
eat it. He gets some donuts, normally his cinnamon rolls, and I get a couple raspberry filled, and we sit in the parking lot, and then we go into church. And then we're like, oh, we ate too much.
Right.
Is pumpkin donuts a thing?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I had to go pumpkin, I'd rather have actually apple cider donuts,
Oh, those are good too.
especially when they're nice and warm.
It sounds good. I never
And
had
it's
one.
just like a cup of apple cider, just chewable.
I had one out at Vala's one year, and it was like
That's, yep,
game
Roger took me
changer.
to,
It was warm.
it was like Apple Jacks Festival, and they had some
Oh, yeah.
there, and I fell in love. Along with apple cider, slushies, and I'm like horrible. Like I think he gets a kick out because I'm like a little kid almost. I've never tried 3/4 of the stuff, so he gets a kick out of having me try it. So, but yeah. He's just loved it. He's like, oh, we got to go here. You haven't been here. We have to go here now. You haven't been here. So yeah, it's his fun little thing.
Yeah, Applejack Festival is fun. I haven't been in years, so.
Yeah, we were going to go this last year, but since we went to North Carolina, we unfortunately couldn't go. So,
That's the downside to traveling. It's so
It is.
expensive.
well, and honestly, we saved more money because we didn't fly. Because
No.
plane tickets were
No.
going to cost us like a little over $1,000 a person.
Take my money.
Crazy.
I
So-
could not drive for 20 hours.
You know, I love driving. If I could, I'd probably drive for life, but as I say that, I never really had one accident from driving, so. But yeah,
Could
no.
always drive a school bus.
Yeah, no, I don't think my. It was funny. Once we hit the
Throw that out
hotel, I was trying to like. Roger forgot his whole suitcase of clothes at home,
Oh no.
and he realized it when we hit the hotel.
That's
So
tough.
he had to go to Walmart and buy clothes.
How do you forget your whole suitcase?
Oh no, the last trip we went on, I forgot mine. Like I remember.
You know how, when that wouldn't happen is if you flew, because you have to check your bag. You would know that you
Well,
didn't
see,
have
what
it.
happened is he had it packed. He already had it packed, but he left it in the basement because then him and his mom and I started having him load up the vehicle, and we're giving him just all these things. He forgot to go back down in the basement where he had washed, dried, and put it in the
Everybody
bag
else's stuff
and
except
brought it
his.
up. So,
Could see how that happens.
yeah.
So he's
Serving
also a
everything.
last minute packer.
No, I'm more of the last minute packer. Even though I'll have like a list of everything I need to have packed and certain things already packed, I'm still the last person throwing my stuff in a bag and just zipping it.
I was packing until like midnight, literally the night before we left.
I was packing within an hour of us leaving. So I was like, darn. So I was like making sure I didn't forget none of my clothes I had forgotten the last time. So those were the first thing I put in there plus a double. So yeah.
Packing.
Yeah, they were like, you want to go to Walmart with us? And I'm sitting there trying to walk on the floor because the floor was like moving on me. I'm like, no, my equilibrium is off from driving so long.
Yeah,
And the
too much in
hills,
the
it
car.
threw off my walking. I thought the floors were moving. So I went and took a hot shower and laid in bed.
Oh, the altitude. Or
Yeah, the altitude hit me hard. But I normally just stay here in Nebraska, so we don't normally go too far. This was my first time going to North Carolina, so it was fun. I'd so go back.
I wouldn't
It
travel
was
a whole
gorgeous.
lot
The
if I drove.
trees were beautiful. So Roger, we should have just brought our clothes there and just taken our screenshots there for our engagement card for save the dates.
That would have been a good idea.
So, but then we didn't think about that until we hit back to Nebraska, and we're like,
Of course.
too late. We're not going back for this.
Some nice places to
Yes.
shoot some pictures here.
There is. We went and did our save the dates, not this last week, but the weekend before, and we went out to Blair and got some of the sunset pictures.
Wow, nice.
So, and then we're doing another set because I had just had my eyes done, so I couldn't wear makeup yet. So we did certain shots, and now on Friday we're gonna go do the rest.
Nice.
So yeah, it'll be fun. We're ready. give everybody their save the dates on Thanksgiving and around that, so they have plenty of time to save up.
Right.
Buy us something good.
Give us the gifts.
Right. It's our turn now.
It worked out pretty good that our last interview was with Roger, and now we're interviewing you. So, welcome to our humble podcast.
Yes.
Glad to have you here. We in our interview with Roger, we're kind of talking about how you guys met. We'd love to hear your perspective on that.
We met online on a texting app, actually. A friend of mine said that we were actually all in a group. Every time he would message, and anybody would ever message, I'd always say, hey, good morning, good evening. Always conversational, just texting. She said, I thought you'd like this guy. You should talk to him. And she sent me a picture of him. And it's his Live Loud picture, of course. And I was like, oh, no, he's too good for me.
Oh.
Too good for me. He does not want a girl like me. And I kind of blew it off. And he ended up messaging me about a week later.
Nice.
And since then, we've talked, and it's going on. We just did 5 years of talking. So, and then Christmas will be 3 years of, I guess, dating, since you're really, I mean, when you're engaged, you're still kind of dating. So 3 years and the day before Christmas. So, yeah.
The day before Christmas when you
Yep,
made it
that's when he
official?
asked me.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. It's a nice little Christmas present.
It was, because he knows Christmas is my thing. So, yeah. He made himself he gave me a marriage book and a dating book, because he knows I like reading certain things and learning certain body language characters and stuff. So he gave me a book like that for us to kind of read and learn how the love languages is what
The
it's
5
called.
love languages?
Yes.
That's a good book.
And so he gave me that for Christmas, our first year, I guess. And inside of it, he had made a homemade book, because everybody knows Roger and I game. We love gaming.
Right.
And he had made a homemade card in it that said, will you be my player too?
That's
And
sweet.
I was like, okay. And he had me read it when I get home, because I had to go to work. And I worked overnights at the time. And of course, I had to cry before I went to work,
Aw.
because he knows me, I'm a crybaby. So I was like, yes, I'll be your player too. Even though that was just a date. And I'm like, gosh, if he asked the marriage, he's got to go above and beyond, which he did.
How long did it take when you guys met before he sent you his music?
You know, it's actually amazing. He did not send me his music from the time we started talking. We started talking in June. We met the middle of July. I had already seen, like, because when I seen his picture, I kind of did my own little research on him,
Okay.
because the friend had
Live
sent me
Loud.
his video already.
Oh, cool.
So when she sent me a picture, she also sent me his video. So I'd already seen it. So he never actually sent it to me until he's like, you should come to my Live Loud concert. And that was the first one I ever went to, which introduced me to his church.
Okay.
And I think that's actually when I met you and everybody
I was
else.
going to say, I think
And that
we met
was
at Live Loud.
2018.
Wow.
Yeah, it makes you think 2018.
So were you guys living in the same area when you met?
We lived in the same area. I always say that I think Roger saved me before anything, because I was going through a divorce. I was going through a very bad time. Negativity was hitting my thoughts. And I figured, if I'm not going to meet somebody in my life, like, why be here? And next thing you know, he came in, and then I was like, you know what, let's meet. Like, if we're going to talk through the phone, let's just go ahead and meet. We weren't looking to be with anybody, and we weren't looking to be with I just needed that friend. And he came in, and he was that friend I needed. He was everything I could have asked for in a friend, because I hate thunderstorms. I do. I can't do thunder. It scares me. And he was like, you want me to come? I'll lay on the couch. Just know that I'm here. And I was like, you know what? No. He goes, well, then we'll just talk all night long. And we did. We texted all night. Just kept texting me, asking me, how are you doing? Are you okay? And I was like, yes, I'm okay. So yeah, he was my knight in shining armor.
Such a sweetheart.
He
I
is.
love Roger.
He is. And that was before we even started dating, before we even met. And yeah. Since then, he's been in the picture.
Nice. So after coming to Live Loud, you started going to the church?
I did.
Okay.
He made an agreement. He goes, you need to come, and just one Sunday you need to come. And I said, okay. And I'm like, I'm not a church person. I'm not going to go. And finally, I said, you know what? The day had hit, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go to church. And I dressed up, and I went to the church. I sat in the back row, And it was amazing of how many people were young and actually came up and talked to me and were wanting to get to know me, know my name, shaking my hand, giving me hugs. Because, of course, this is pre-COVID.
Right.
And I was just like, you guys don't know me. Like, why are you hugging me?
Right.
And since then, I've gone every time.
What's your perspective now? Why were you hugging me then?
Right. And now I know to them, it was their welcoming. It was their, like, you are accepted no matter how you want to come.
Yeah.
And that's what it is you needed this hug. We could tell you need this hug because we want you to come and we want to extend our hand. Yeah. I mean, it's a new face. It's excitement.
Right.
So it means our church word is getting out and it's there. So now I hug everybody. I don't care who you are, I hug you.
I'm a hugger too, despite COVID.
Yeah. I mean, even with hug, I still, if you don't want to hug them, I'm all for fist bumping. And so, but yeah. But if you wear a shirt that's got words on it, you have to stand there for a minute because I have to read it. Because I have to. I don't know, it's just weird.
No, I get it. Like, what does your shirt say?
Right. I'm like, if you're wearing something funny, I need to know because I need to know where you got it from. Especially if it's some like corny joke, I need it.
That's funny. Nice. So let's talk about, you said that you were born in Omaha.
I was born in Omaha.
But you didn't grow up here.
No. So my dad was in the Navy and my mom was a single, as they were married, but she was a stay-at-home mom. That's so right. I was born here in Nebraska where my family is. And then we went immediately out to Washington State.
Wow.
And I lived on a Navy base out there until I was about 9 years old and then came back to Nebraska. Because then they went through a divorce. So then I came and lived with my grandma.
What was it like growing up on a Navy base?
I loved it. I would go back to Washington in a heartbeat. Because when we grew up on a Navy base, not only could you see the submarines, but you could see the ocean. So literally where our house was, right down the hill, is the ocean. So it's the most I can remember of.
Did you walk to the beach?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Where shells and everything, you collect them, go back. Lived in like a little roundabout because there's the ocean, our house, and then across this little like road, because it was a town, is trees. So you're almost secluded, and it was nice.
That sounds really nice.
So yeah.
Just being close to the beach.
Oh yeah, beach amazing. And then woods. I think that's why I like being on the water, but then I also like the woods because that's just kind of how it was for 9 years. But then my grandparents would always come pick me up, and I would travel around on a semi-truck because my grandpa was a semi-driver.
Gotcha.
So my vacations involved semi-trucks. I think that's why I like driving so much.
Right.
Because that.
How long did you do that?
He did that for a long time. So, but we did that up until we moved back. And then he was, of course, getting older, and he normally just worked overnights then.
Are you considered doing like the over-the-road driving?
I have, actually. I have seriously considered it. It's something I've thought about, but I have such back problems that I just don't know if it'd be situated for me.
Sitting too long.
Yeah, sitting too long, and if it's too bumpy,
every day,
the spasms kind of get out of hand.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And you got to be able to like slam on your brakes sometimes. But it's also, I look at all these other drivers that don't know how to use their turn signal, and I think I'd have a problem with my horn. So yeah, because I mean, I already have road rage, so.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be a truck driver.
Yeah,
my sister says the same thing. Her boyfriend is over the road, and she's like, I would love to do it, but she has horrible road. I'm like, nobody needs you out there.
Just keep everybody safe.
That's it.
Stay home.
I'm like, I'm just better sitting behind my own little truck and having my own road rage.
He has this like simulator game on his computer. Literally. I'm going to tell my sister to watch this episode now. So he has like this whole computer set up. It's got like a shifter, the wheel, even the little like breaker 999, the whole thing.
He doesn't need a job. He's already got it all set up.
Right. Well, he just went back over the road, but he's got like the green screen and does like the videos of him playing the game.
I think I've seen those because I think he does TikToks, don't he?
Yeah.
I've seen those, and I always get a kick out of them. I get a kick out of them.
Yeah, I was like, you could just be a simulator.
Yeah.
Truck driver.
A lot of them make money on it, so.
On TikTok? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Being a content creator. Talked to Dominique about that a little bit. Nice. So now you're in the medical field.
Oh yeah.
How long?
Started taking care of my mom when she ended up getting hurt. So I started taking care of her when I was 11. So on and off in the medical field for 27 years, mostly on.
Wow. So a long time to be committed to any profession.
Yep, I've done everything from hospice and home care, special needs, to nursing homes and suicide watches in hospitals. I've kind of covered a lot.
What's your favorite part of the medical field? Like what?
The resident stories, or client stories, however you want to call them. They're stories because they can tell you so much of the, like, you go through high school and you learn about the history, but then you get to hear it firsthand from somebody that's gone through the Depression,
It's different.
the war, and they have pictures of it and all this memorabilia. It's just fascinating to just hear it from them. My oldest client I've ever had was 105. Still semi-independent.
That's crazy.
And still had her mind. And she had all this stuff and she'd love to talk about it. She ended up being an army nurse for the World Wars. And so she loved it. That's how she met her husband.
That's
So yeah, I'm like, you're just one of those patient nurses, aren't you? So, but yeah, I love their stories.
You deal with like patient deaths.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you handle that?
I had one that I call him my love bug. He was my favorite. You're not supposed to have your favorite in a nursing home. You're not. But he was my love bug because every time I came in to shift, I'd do my rounds really quick and then I'd sit in his room for 30 minutes because he needed to, before he could fall asleep. This is at 10 o'clock at night. Before he could fall asleep, we needed to have our tea time is what he called it. Even though he's laying in bed, we needed to have our tea time. So I'd always take a cup of tea or water and I'd sit on his little bench area and we would talk. And because he needed to vent from the whole day's worth of stuff. And he was a big Nebraska fan, so he'd be loving the Nebraska's been kicking butt.
Yeah.
But we would just talk, and he was my favorite. I never met his family because I worked overnights. Never met him, but I knew who they were because he had talked about them. So when he passed away, they came in and immediately knew who I was because of the way he described me. Of course, I'm covered. And so my residents can never remember my name. Normally they have dementia or something. So they remembered the girl with the tattoos. I was the only girl really covered. And so they knew immediately who I was, gave me hugs. And of course I cried. I did go to his funeral though. But when I need to handle something like that, I have to take a moment away. And I had to tell my nurse, which she already knew ahead of time, that I would take his hard.
Yeah.
And I stepped outside and kind of have to sit on the bench at night and pray. I have a thing with taking my socks and shoes off and grounding myself into the ground to pray. Because I think we have to get with Mother Earth along with praying. And that's how, I do that at night too. When I'm at home and I need answers, I just sit outside and barefoot. I don't like wearing shoes anyways. And just pray and talk to him out in the air. And I'll talk out loud at my house. I'll be sitting outside, dogs are running around acting like fools, and I'm just talking out loud to God. And that's how I always do, and I have. Since Roger's come in the picture, that's how I've always done it.
Okay. I've heard about that, like grounding a few years ago. Like there's something magnetic or something about like just...
It's almost like you're taking all that negativity you have and you're putting it into the ground to just kind of wash it away.
You're also absorbing.
But it's like
ground too.
It's like almost like a cycle. You're taking out, but you're putting in. And it just kind of brings you back down to the world. But I feel like, to me, it's getting my word out there more, is when I need to talk to him.
You feel more connected.
I do. I feel absolutely more connected with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Roger, he'll be like, it's snowing outside. It's raining outside. I know, but I'm out here and I need to talk to him alone.
In the snow?
Oh, yeah. I'll be sitting on my steps and I'll be sitting on my steps and I'm just barefoot. I despise shoes.
I mean, me too. I told you I was with you until you said snow, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
I wear shorts up until the snow time too. And there's times I wear shorts during snow. I just don't do it out in public because I just don't need to hear everybody's words.
Makes sense.
But I mean, I'm a big girl, so I sweat a lot. So to me, it's like cooling. Just like I tell people, like, if you see me bundled up, then I must not be feeling good. Because I like to be cold.
You can keep the cold.
That's what Roger says. He can take the heat. He just can't have the cold.
That's
And
my
I
bro.
like the cold. I can't take the heat.
Both born in California. Can't stand the winters here, but
I think that's why I
still
would
fall
take
in love
North
with the city.
Carolina.
Yeah.
You don't get a fall there, but you don't get a winter. Or you don't get a winter and you don't get a summer. So
What I was getting at with the question about the death in the nursing field is, and it seems like it's really just a point of like appreciating the life that, yeah, you don't really.
it's you got to appreciate their life. When I know that I have a client that's getting ready to pass away, I do a lot of praying for them. I pray with them secretly when I'm cleaning them, but I also pray outside of their rooms, and I prayed in their homes, and I pray that they have that it's quick and easy. If they're gonna go, I don't want no one to suffer. I want it to be quick and easy.
Yeah.
If that's what the mission is for it to be done, then that's where it needs to go. If it's something that, and I've had some pre-deaths that I, have a hard time, I go home and I bake.
No.
And I put my meditation into baking when I need to get away from a lot of things.
This is kind of a sudden end, but we're running out of time. Can you drop your contact, your social links, and then we'll pick up this conversation in the next episode?
Facebook-wise, it's just Jessica Rounds, Rounds, and Instagram, I think, is the same thing. Really?
Is there different ways to spell Jessica?
Jessica. But yes, there is
Some
different
people
ways.
put K's
I'm
in there.
old school, so old school. There's no K's, there's no E's, there's
Okay.
no. It's just Jessica Rounds.
Nice. All right, we'll be back. This has been a great interview. Thank you for tuning in to our Humble Podcast, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to another episode of our Humble Podcast. It's your host, GT, and I have with me my amazing, beautiful co-host, Christina, and we're sitting down with Jessica, just kind of getting some of her story. It's been a really cool conversation. I feel like it's the same thing like with the guys in our circle, that usually the only time we get together is when we're like doing a show or an event or something. Yeah. With us, it's been a little different because you've been watching the kids.
I do. Oh my God, I love them.
Which one's your favorite? You don't have to answer that.
Yeah, I can't answer that.
because I would sure show up.
He knows who he is.
Right.
Well, that eliminates one.
No, they're all my favorite. They're all, oh my God, they're great kids.
Right.
They have their moments though.
Oh, definitely. We all do. That's the thing, like one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning as a dad is they're still figuring stuff out.
They really are. But it's amazing is that not only are they figuring it out, but we're figuring it out as parents. You're figuring it out too.
True. So true.
Because you want to do everything different than what your parents did.
But that's hard to do.
But a little bit, but then you see yourself go back and forth, and you're like, but then you have to battle as a parent. You have to battle with how society is, and how schools are, and their friends are, and how you're trying to make sure you're raising them right.
Preach.
Yep. So it's a hard thing, because it's not like it used to be in the 1990s and early 2000s where you can send your kid out in the front yard and they'd still be there.
Right.
And you could tell them, okay, lights go off, you need to be home. It's dinner time then. No, now they got these cell phones, their heads are buried in them.
Not only that, I'm just like, I don't even want to be outside at night by myself. I was going to my car last night and I went in and there was no one parked next to me. When I came out, like there was this big white van with no license plates, and I was like,
It's the candy truck.
I'm gonna walk home. That's the only option. I'm walking home now.
See,
I'll leave my car.
Yep.
I'll be back later. You know.
Yep. Yeah, I live in North Omaha, so I live down there. And whenever I have to walk outside at night, I always have my dog with me. Even though he's older, but he can still get a good run in him if he had to. So but I always leave my front door open so they can both come. Because unfortunately, the husky knows how to open my front door, the screen door. So if she needed to get out, she can get out. But yeah, they always watch me run out to the truck. But then I think my neighbors get a kick out of it because then he'll hop on the truck and be like, okay, it's time for a ride.
Let's go.
And it's just like, no. So then I have to try pulling him out, but then he hops to the back, to the front, to the back. And it's just like, we're not doing a ride today. It's too late. We're not doing it. So then he just looks at me like, you lied.
Why are we out here?
So then, but they always, I have to have my dogs living in North Omaha. So yeah, but it's not safe anymore.
It's not safe anywhere. Like,
Nope.
Sad truth. Sad reality. We left off the last episode talking about your career in nursing.
Yes.
I was just wondering if you had any suggestions for anyone looking to get into the nursing field, how to get started.
Do it for the love of the residents. I see too many times people do it for the money.
Yeah.
The money's not there in healthcare. It's not. Do it for the care of them, that you want to give them a prosperous rest of your life. You have to look at them like they're your grandparents. The grandparents you either had or you want to have or anything. You have to look at them differently. And yeah, it's frustrating. It's a very frustrating and stressful job. But you have to also learn to find different things to overcome that frustration at home or even at the job. So yeah, it's stressful, but if you're gonna do it, start out as a CNA and then work up. Learn what it's like to be a CNA before you go straight to nursing. Too many of them go to nursing and don't realize what it's like to be a CNA. And they forget how to take care of people.
Because they're doing it for the money.
Yeah, they're doing it for the money.
Yeah.
They're not doing it for the care.
I just kind of hit me while you were talking. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's like two big, just drastic differences in like the medical, like hospital doctors, and then nursing homes. So the nursing homes typically like senior or disabled.
Yep, senior to disabled. I guess disabled to senior, or people have like dementia, Alzheimer's. Yeah, they're more of your nursing home. Hospitals, you see a doctor for about 2 minutes and then you're done. That's all you get out of a hospital. And your nurses are either having to take care of a lot more people, so they're constantly running around and can't always be in your room. A nursing home, you get a little bit more care with your CNAs, but normally it's a limited income, limited area of people. You might only have like 30 residents, but you're gonna have like 3 to 4, 6 CNAs. So, but also when you're in a nursing home, they get to know you more one-on-one.
Right.
And you get to know that resident one-on-one, you get to meet their families. Hospitals, you don't meet families, you don't really do a lot of that, to my opinion. I've been there with residents, they don't pop in unless it's like, okay, sponge bath time, or time to change you, or you rang your bell, what do you want, That I don't feel like they always have that.
It's not as relational.
It's not, there's no relation to there. It's like you're here for a week or two and then you're out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, I feel like it's hard to have that relational piece when it's such a short stay.
Yeah, it is. It's a very short stay. But nursing homes, you can still have a short stay in a nursing home, but it's a long stay. It's the rest of your life kind of stay.
Gotcha.
And it's really hard for the residents. And that's where some CNAs, especially young ones, they don't understand it's hard for them to understand they're not going home. And you sometimes have to tell them, oh yeah, you're going home after these testings, you're going home in a week, you're going home in 2 weeks. But it's because it's so that they kind of stay calm, but they slowly get into like, oh, okay, it's nice here. I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean, I don't have to. It gets them in the mindset of, okay, I'd rather stay here then. Then it makes it feel like it's their idea to stay.
Nice.
So you got to alter their mind kind of sometimes.
Some psychology in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Best way to get somebody to do something is
Yep.
make them want to.
Pretty much.
Magic of
Especially
thinking big.
older men. They're the harder ones. You have to let them think it's their idea before, so you have to manipulate them.
Kind of goad them with the questions.
Yep.
Lead them to the desired
Lead them to the water and let
destination.
them know it's the promising right there.
Nice.
Giving up that independence.
And that's what it is. It's the idea of giving up all their independence. Normally, your men are like military or been the only income in the home, how to take care of the wife, the kids, and I've always known to be the top dog. And to let that go, it's hard for them. It's hard for them to know that, oh, okay, I'm now I need help. It's the idea that they need help. And before they were known for always helping.
So you had mentioned your tattoos.
Yes.
How many tattoos do you have?
I think we're right below 20.
20.
What was your first one?
My first one is on my lower back.
You don't need to show us.
I'm doing everything to show. So it's just a blue rose with some tribal. I love blue roses because it's just something you don't see.
How old were you?
I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had just graduated and was living with my grandma. So it's 1920.
So do you, like, is there a story to each of your tattoos?
Every one of them.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep, I only tattoo with a story, so. Instead of hanging my pictures on the wall, I throw them on my body.
At least 20 stories. So when we come back, your next interview, that's going to be our...
Oh, yeah. Each one of them.
We'll just go one through one down the line, all
Yep.
20 stories.
A lot of them are their stories and quite a couple memories
Nice.
for people that have passed away.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I have no ink, but I
Neither
had
does Roger.
okay. I have that line in a song, I might get a whole sleeve. I also, if I ever do get a tattoo, I want a crown, like right here, right here.
Thank you.
Why?
Absolutely, thank you.
Why do you want to tattoo your face?
Right.
Why not?
And a crown on your head.
Literally, I'm sorry, that's just overplayed.
I don't know anybody with a crown on their face.
Google.
Google every one of them. There's probably a good thousands of them. Every rapper has a crown on their face.
Including Roger.
I can't, he's one of the, I don't think he really wants a tattoo, and I'm okay with it. It's nice that he doesn't, because then I just can't. But he's all for me getting them, so I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Because he has taken me to get one that I had covered up. So he took me, made sure I had plenty of snacks and drinks, and his switch, and
Nice.
dropped me off, made sure I got in there, got to the appointment in time, and came and picked me back up. And he went and took care of it, took pictures from. So yeah, he's my little caregiver.
Nice.
Look at that ring. Can we get close up on this thing? Look at that bling. It's kind of blinding me a little bit.
He did great on picking it out. I will admit that. It's actually not the one I picked out when we went.
Yeah, but you like
So
it.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the one I picked out. I picked out something that was more of smaller and simple. And he's like, that wasn't good enough, I guess.
So I'm gonna spoil you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. So yeah, because we went ring shopping a year and a half before he asked. Because he's like, oh, let's just go look. And I'm like, after a couple months of after looking, I'm like, okay, he's going to ask. Because I kept getting like, oh, we're going to go do this special date. And I'm like, oh, he's asking. And I'm like, all right, you know what? It's been like 6 months. I'm done getting excited for something.
Strategic.
And it was. He saved it up for a whole additional year after that.
So we talked about it in his interview. How did you feel about that proposal?
Oh my God, I loved it.
Right? That was
I
so
cried
cool.
because the first words I said was no, no, no. I'm like, oh my gosh, now he's the thing. I actually said no because
Right.
I was just baffled by it.
In
yeah,
front of everybody.
I didn't know it was
family
gonna.
was
Yeah,
there.
he's like, you realize you planned your whole entire engagement party too. I didn't realize I had. I thought we were just getting our families together to meet because they had never really fully met.
Oh.
They had only met his mom. And come find out, they engagement party.
What's the
Did it
purpose?
all.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was great. He had it sitting in a little fake rose, and cause I'm like, this whole handing out roses, that's perfect.
So sweet.
It's so sweet. And then it hit DJ Flyness. It hit him in the back. He's like, "Why are you holding off on the special rose?" And I couldn't figure out why he kept telling me, "No, don't run the roses up to there." I'm like, "It'll take me 2 seconds." And he's like, "No, you guys stay here." And I'm like, "Why? I'm handing out. I'm helping you. Why do I need to stand here, Roger?"
It's okay. You just take a break.
Yeah. So yeah, it was so he could get on my knee. So it was perfect.
That was perfect. That was perfect. We're not gonna talk about how I almost ruined it.
No.
No.
Yeah, he kind of. It was perfect. To me, it was perfect. I mean, this is going into my second marriage, unfortunately. But I feel like my first marriage led me to the perfect marriage. So
That's beautiful.
Yep. I figured we learned that we have to go through some tribulations to find what's perfect. And I went through my tribulations to find perfect. So yeah. He's my perfect.
How's that planning going?
Oh my gosh. So after church yesterday, we were sitting at sushi. I love sushi. Oh my God, I love sushi. And we were trying to figure out our whole menu, how we want everything to play out, how we want our cake done, just everything. Because we try to make at least one day out of the weekend right now where we just go out to eat lunch or something and we wedding talk. Then the rest of the time, it's just, dating and having fun.
Nice.
Occasionally, we have to pop up questions really quick, like, "Hey, what's the order of your bridesmaids? What's the order of your groomsmen? What are we doing here?" Because since I'm not currently working at the moment, I'm trying to take care of so much right now until I am back to working.
Yeah, it's the time to double down.
Yep. So try and get it all done.
Before you get back to work.
Yep.
It's June, right?
June 29th, this
June
next
29th.
year.
Is there any significance to the day?
Actually, so we originally picked the 22nd.
Okay.
But then when we went to go look at a venue, they're like, that's during College World Series.
Yeah.
And so we were like,
Nice.
well, I'm like, "Are they still going to 29th? And they were like, "No." And I looked it up and I'm like, "You know what? June 29th, that works." So yeah. And then it started, actually after about a month after, I'm like, "Why does the June 29th sound so familiar to me?" Because it started hitting me after that. And Roger's like, "That's because that's the day we're getting married." And I was just like thinking a lot of things that I never said. But then I ended up realizing that my mom and her second marriage actually happened June 30th.
Oh, wow.
So I was just like, okay, that's why it sounds familiar. But it worked out perfect, I think, because his dad will come from out of state and will be here for 4th of July.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
normally they don't have that. So
Cool.
I think it's working out to where all the families and the holidays. Plus, we wanted to make sure there was no graduations going on, no school dances, nothing that would be, no holidays that would be obstructing the date. And June just happened to be that perfect time.
Is it indoors?
We are having indoors, outdoors. So our reception or the ceremony will be outside, but the reception will be inside.
And you said you already have a venue?
So the venue we're looking at 2 so far. We're waiting to see which one we're going to pick yet.
If you're open to a third option, it might already be on your list, but Andrea Amos is planning a wedding. I went to go see their venue like 2 days ago. It's really nice. They got some outdoor space and some indoor space. I can connect you guys.
Yeah.
Also, if you're looking for a DJ, I know
DJ
a couple
Flyness is doing it
options.
for us.
Nice.
That's this wedding, I can't get any more perfect, I honestly think. My aunt is making our cake for us as a wedding gift. DJ Flyness is doing the DJing for us.
Yeah.
He immediately said it right after we proposed, he goes, "I'm your DJ." So I said, "All right, great, I ain't got to ask."
Right.
So yeah, everything's kind of just fallen in line. We set up our marriage classes at the end of this month, and we do that for 5 to 6 months. So then we've already picked out our minister. We've got everything picked out. Our colors, our wedding crew. It's just everything is kind of just starting to fall in line, and it's perfect.
What are the 2 venues that you're going back and forth
So the one view is the Fontanelle City Hall.
between? Okay.
It's because it's in our price range. But the other one is Falcon Ridge. I really want. It's outskirts of Bellevue Papillion area. and it's gorgeous. They actually have a drive-in movie theater there.
Okay,
That's cool.
I've been to a few weddings there, and
And-
it's interesting to see how people switched up.
the one.
Dylan and
Okay.
yeah,
Yep, they're the one that have the glamping cabins
yeah.
that I fell in love with. We actually ended up running across them at the wedding expo.
Nice.
So we went and looked, and we were just like, it fit our theme, our rustic boho kind of theme.
Ooh, I love that.
So they had the mason jars on the chandelier, so we're really hoping we can get it.
Yeah,
So-
I hope so too.
Me too.
It's a pretty
It's-
popular venue.
Yeah, he's got 3 of them. So we're like,
Jeez.
They have like a outdoor stage too.
yes.
Yeah, maybe
Because
you guys
that's
do a
where
concert
we'll
after.
be. Because that's Roger and I were talking. I'm like, well, they'll have to do a concert out there because the guy is pretty nice. He's laid back.
It's super cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we thought about that because the venue that we saw right there is actually right by the stage. But of
Wow.
course, we want it down the ground. So because I know Roger, he's gonna cry. But yeah, it's coming all together really well.
It's gonna be
Nice.
great.
Yep, we're doing our own catering. We're doing all of it. So
So amidst the wedding planning,
Have you
getting
said
ready.
yes to the dress yet?
no, we actually go the 18th. We are going all the way
daughter's
to Minnesota.
Wow.
A company up there specializes in plus size dresses and has sizes all up to 26 for samples. And so I'm not no 26, but we're going up there. We're actually taking a school bus with my maid of honor, my aunts, and Roger's mom and niece. And we're going up there early in the morning on a little school bus.
That's awesome.
Because my aunt does drive school bus for a Head Start out in Fremont. So they're letting us borrow it to head out there.
That's so cool.
So yeah, we'll hopefully be saying yes to the dress soon.
Very nice.
Very nervous about that one though. I'm not more of a dress person, but well, Roger told me I'm not allowed to wear a black dress, so
Oh.
I tried. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a nice little experience.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of cries.
The occasion calls for it.
It does. It really does. Because I didn't wear a dress the first time, so it's like planning a whole wedding that I've never planned before. So I've enjoyed it actually. I'm like, gosh, maybe my calling is party planner.
There you go.
But it's so easy to throw a party on sometimes. So
All right. Very true.
So amidst everything that you have going on, what are you learning in this season of life?
I got to put all my worries to God and let Him lead me where I need to go. That's where I've had to do a lot of learning and to be patient. Everything's going to work out the way it needs to work out,
Yeah.
and He's going to put me where I need to be put. I've been not working for a few months now, and first thing I cried for about an hour not working. I've always worked 2 jobs my whole life, so not working has been a big thing for me. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time to find myself. And Roger, first thing he did, he called me and told me, he reminded me that we're going to get through this no matter what. And that was before he had proposed. And I was like, you know what? All right. Well, we're going to get through this. I'm like, I don't know how, but we're going to get through this. Okay. And I went outside, I grounded myself into the ground, and I said, I'm putting this all to you. You put me where I need to be. And He has opened the doors to a couple places for me to look at, and I accepted actually the job offer that I start the 27th.
Oh, cool.
So
Congrats.
I was more hoping to be able to stay home and work.
Yeah.
I wanted more of a remote job, but He has led me to a mental health facility. So it'll be something different. It'll be nice. But yeah, I put all my worries to Him, and I had to learn to take care of myself again.
Mm.
Self-care was like something I had totally lost on how to do.
Mm-hmm.
So important.
It is. And it was so hard because I'm like, gosh, I don't even remember how to do this. And I was like, you know what? No, I got to find myself first. I lost myself a long time ago, not even realizing I had lost myself. So it was really nice. And that's kind of what I've been working on, is making sure I'm putting myself first. Well, God first, then myself, but you know, it's trying to get there.
Sure. Yeah. So in the course of putting yourself first and, you know, filling your cup, like, and you kind of hit on it a little bit earlier too with what you were doing in nursing and having people pass on you, like, what do you do to, obviously, the grounding?
I do a lot of grounding. I do a lot of, I love to bake. And anybody that knows me, I don't eat a whole lot of my home baked goods. I really don't. I love baking them though. I love cooking, but I'm more of a baker. And that's where Roger and I work out. He loves cooking. I love baking.
I was gonna say that's kind of a match made.
Right. So yeah,
Nice
he does the
combination.
cooking and I do the baking. But it helps me. And if I really can't get myself to like under control, then it's time to go take a hot bath and some music. And sometimes it's okay to just put on something angry for a minute and scream. I've learned to go down to my basement and do that.
Nice.
Scares the cats though, but it's sometimes it's what's called for. That way then you can just get that frustration out. Because I mean, you can't bottle it downwards.
Right.
The more you bottle it, eventually it's gonna pop, and it's gonna be worse than a champagne popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to do all that. I love doing my resin work. Normally make my own earrings. Not today's earrings though, but
I did look.
not today's earrings though. I actually ended up getting these from a Christmas present from a coworker.
Oh, nice.
But I normally do my own. I normally just like doing my own resin, stuff like that. I'm trying to get into shirt printing.
Yeah.
And
we talked about that. Yeah.
Trying to get into that, doing the heat press and stuff like that. Vinyl work. Can't get my Cricut to work though, so I'm not happy.
Oh.
And then I love doing the diamond art, the
Diamond.
puzzles. So they're like little itty bitty
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
squares
about.
and
No.
the glue. And
No.
it's so relaxing to me. Like I have a tray and I'll put on like an old TV show, and I'll just have my tray sitting there, and I'm just for hours. I think I can do that. I haven't done it since I've done my eyes though. So, and if not, then it's gaming time, and normally Roger knows I need to get on and do some zombie work.
Nice. Is that the Call of Duty zombies?
Yeah,
Nice.
Call of Duty, and yeah, it's the one that we've been playing the most lately. So
I love puzzles too. We just got a 1,000-piece puzzle that we did over the weekend.
I'd have that gone in like 2 days.
It took 2 days, yeah. And the kids helped. All the kids helped, which
See, my
was
thing
nice.
is after I do them, I want to glue them and put them up though.
Well, this one got water spilt on it, so I think it's not going to last too much longer.
No. I really want to do those 60,000 Disney puzzle.
Sheesh,
And I see that, yeah, I seen that, and I'm like, I want that. It'll be on my
I saw
Amazon
it.
list
This person
soon.
like put multiple tables together. And I
Yeah.
was like, absolutely not.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
they had to have multiple tables, and I'm like, that's beyond a wall. So yeah, you
I
better
would
have one.
literally hit my head on a wall if someone was like, you have to do this. I would be like, I will knock myself unconscious.
Yeah,
like,
I want to do
100, I'm
it,
done.
even though I'd probably sit there and I'd look at it for months. I still want to do it though. Yeah, they're fun. I don't know. I love doing puzzles. I think to me, it's relaxing. I almost feel like I can sleep better after I've done something like that. And then of course reading my
Afterwards, yeah.
books.
In the process is
Yep.
like no sleep.
Yeah, because I mean, to me, I feel like after I've done like the diamond art, I've already had like my mind has already been put to sleep. So now it's time to just go to bed.
Gotcha.
Eye drops to bed.
Well, we're going to go ahead and end this interview. Can you let the people know again how they can contact you if anybody wanted to reach out?
They can find me on Facebook underneath Jessica, the old spelling way.
No, it's not.
The OG.
And last name is Rounds, Rounds. That's probably the main place to find me besides, yeah, that.
So if you have wedding venues or
Right,
photography,
decorations that you need to get
whatever,
rid
decor,
of.
reach out.
Right.
Rustic, what are your colors?
Navy blue and bronze, or platinum.
So if you got navy blue or platinum wedding decor, reach out.
Right. Anything.
here for it all.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to our humble podcast. Thank you, Jessica, for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
We got 20 more to go.
All right.
All right, you guys take care.